By now, everybody knows the tale of Sam Bankman-Fried and how his FTX cryptocurrency exchange imploded. But the Libertarian Reason Foundation says his crash and burn is exactly why we need crypto.
Unlike blue-chip financial institutions that gain trust by being too big to fail, meaning taxpayers will provide a backstop, SBF did it in part by winning the affection of the progressive elite in a way that set him apart from the usual libertarian crypto bros. The World Economic Forum hosted him as a speaker in Davos, listing FTX as a corporate partner. Journalists fawned over him, including Fortune magazine, which asked if he was the next Warren Buffett in a cover story that evoked another infamous profile. SEC Chief Gary Gensler is accused by one Congress member of helping the company to create a regulatory monopoly. As the second largest donor to Democratic politicians in the lead-up to the 2022 midterms, SBF branded himself a new kind of capitalist, a different sort of billionaire.
The guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world.
I wanted to get rich not because I like money, but because I wanted to give that money to charity.
Sam is not a traditional billionaire because he believes in the concept of earn to give.
SBF was an effective altruist, or part of a movement that encourages its adherents to make as much money as they can so that they can give it all to charities that they deem maximally efficient at alleviating suffering. So the ethics stuff, mostly a front? Asked Vox reporter Kelsey Piper after FTX filed for Chapter 11. Yeah, replied SBF. It's what reputations are made of to some extent. I feel bad for those who get f***ed by it. By this dumb game we woke Westerners play, where we say all the right shibboleths and so everyone likes us.
But as I said, Reason argues the fate of FTX is exactly why we need cryptocurrency.
In the original white paper explaining Bitcoin, its pseudonymous founder Satoshi Nakamoto wrote that what is needed is an electronic payment system based on cryptographic proof instead of trust, and then used the T word 13 more times. SBF displayed very little interest in this fundamental proposition at the heart of crypto. Jesse Powell, co-founder of the major crypto exchange Kraken, told Reason recently.
I think Sam saw crypto as a means to an end, and most people in the space see crypto as the end goal of delivering that. That's what we need to deliver to humanity.
Satoshi wanted to replace trusted third parties with verifiable math, or rules over rulers. The Bitcoin network relies on open source software, and it becomes harder for any single entity to modify as the number of participants grows and grows. Bitcoin also made it possible to maintain custody of your own digital money instead of trusting it to a bank or an exchange like FTX. If anything, this saga shows that Satoshi was right. Don't trust, verify. And when business owners seem more interested in magazine covers, running in elite circles, cozying up to regulators, and giving away their fortunes instead of making money for their investors, take your money and run the other way.
My guest is the author of 6 books, including Popular Economics, The End of Work, and When Politicians Panicked. His latest is called The Money Confusion: How Illiteracy About Currency and Inflation Sets the Stage for the Crypto Revolution. He is VP of Freedom Works, editor of Real Clear Markets. Please welcome John Tamny. John, I'm assuming you agree with the premise of Reason that what happened to FTX shows us exactly why we need crypto.
Yes and no. Let's be clear. I don't think Bitcoin has any monopoly on truth or trust. What has trust is currency that holds its value. It's as simple as that. The currency that is the same throughout time. Bitcoin, by virtue of trying to limit supply, can never be a real currency. SBF, let's be clear, I don't like all the effective altruism stuff that he was doing either, but as he notes, that was for PR. All entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley are trying to reshape the future, which is why just about every single one of them fails. The fact that he failed doesn't indict him. If he stole from customers, that's something different. But if he simply failed, that makes him like everyone else, and we need more people like him. We need more people, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's FTX, trying to invent a better future than government money, which we know we can't trust very well.
What do we do about the printing of all this stuff, this quantitative easing and all the money that's being printed? What do we do about this?
Well, what do we do about it is that gradually there's going to be a movement away from it. The capitalist system demands money that can be trusted, that holds its value through time. I think it's a bit overdone the way libertarians say that all this money was printed in recent times. Oh, really? Why hasn't the dollar collapsed if that's true? I would add, if in fact the dollar were as untrustworthy as so many on our side want to believe, why is it the world's currency? Why is it used to referee transactions around the world? That isn't me defending the dollar's oversight since 1971. Obviously, we can improve on it, and I think private money will. But to pretend, as so many as on our sides do, that the Fed has been the source of endless monetary mischief just isn't serious, because if that's true, that means that markets around the world are stupid. They're using dollars that have no value. We know that's not the case. Markets are wise.
Was there a mistake we got off of using the gold standard?
Without question, there was a mistake. And how we know this is that there are no currency markets before 1971. That's one of the things I stress in the Money Confusion. There were no currency markets because the world was on a dollar standard, and the dollar had a strict definition of 1/35th of an ounce of gold. The fact that there's 10 trillion daily in currency trading now is a signal that markets want what gold formerly provided, a stable measure of value. And here's the opportunity for the private sector. Since governments have a history going back to the Turkish Lydia of always and everywhere devaluing the countries that they're involved in, here's the opportunity for the private sector to provide forms of money that we can trust that will hold a value throughout time.
What's that? The great Eldersky has in his baby brown libertarian fingers a tan pair of MyPillow My Slippers? Indeed he do. Call the number on your screen, get your own pair, and make sure that you use MyPillow.com promo code ELDER if you want to do it online. And remember, Mike has over 100 products, including, of course, the product that started it all, the MyPillow. They come in different sizes. You've never slept on anything so comfortable. Call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. And here is the 6-pack, including the MyPillow My Towels. They actually work. Mike found out that because of some chemicals they put in towels over the last several years, the towels you find in stores often look great, feel great, but they don't work great because they are not absorbent. These towels do what towels are supposed to do, not just cover you up, but also to absorb the water. They come in different colors, of course. And then there's the MyPillow Giza Dream Sheet. Giza is in Egypt, where the finest cotton is found. Mike scoured the world to find this cotton, and he settled on cotton in Egypt, in Giza. They come in different colors. Mine, of course, is white because I am the black face of white supremacy. What other color would I have? But you are not the black face of white supremacy. You might want a different color. They come in different colors and, of course, different sizes. Call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER, MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. Talk to me about how that forms, how the private sector will be doing this, is doing this and will be.
Well, it's a great question, but as libertarians, we don't have to know. Isn't the beauty of libertarianism is it says rather than have a policy, rather than have a decree about how we're going to do it, let's just agree that a capitalist system has put supercomputers in our pockets. It's put buildings that are on the way to going over a mile into the sky. A capitalist system that can do all those things can produce a measuring stick like of the foot ruler, like a cup, like a teaspoon, that will hold its value throughout. Nothing complicated about money. Money is just a measure that we use to exchange the other good real wealth. And so it would be easy to get back to a gold-defined form of money. Or I'm guessing markets could probably improve on the gold standards, forms of money that we can trust. And so there's no policy here. It's just let markets work.
When I studied economics, John, I was told that the ideal inflation is 0.00. Is that your view, and will we get there?
Of course it's my view. There's this view inside the Fed and among economists well outside the Fed that we need to have 2% or more inflation a year. So what they're saying is that the very people who earn dollars should see the value of their savings and the value of their earnings eroded over time by government. No, of course it should be zero. Money has one purpose, per Adam Smith, and it's the quote that begins my book. The sole use of money is to circulate consumable goods. Based on that, the goal should be money, the value of which does not change throughout time at all. No devaluation, no upward valuation of it, just money that's like a foot rule or any other kind of strict measure.
So, John Tamny, you are summoned by Congress to testify about inflation, about crypto, about the future of money in America, and you say what to them?
Well, I'd first of all say, why have you given up so much power? The Constitution very clearly says that Congress coins money, regulates the value thereof. So why not take that power back and say, we are going to revive the dollar as a strict measure of value? From there, I would say you cannot love job creation and you cannot love opportunity while ignoring the dollar's value. Is what do investors who create all the jobs do when they put wealth to work? They are buying future income streams in dollars. It means inflation is anti-job creation simply because it's a tax on investor returns. From there, I would say, don't worry about all this carnage in crypto. That's the sign, as I argue in my book, of its powerful future. What defined the creation of the automobile? Thousands and thousands of fiery crashes for car makers that didn't make it. Just about every car maker created went bankrupt. What defined the internet? Endless company debt. The fact that there's lots of carnage in crypto is just a sign that that a market is forming, a serious market that's sifting out the bad in favor of the good. If there weren't this crash, we would know that it's not a serious market for the future of money.
Do you believe we should have a Fed?
No, I don't think we should have a Fed, but I don't base that based on all this libertarian mysticism about the Fed controlling the economy and the Rockefellers and all this. We shouldn't have a Fed because it serves no useful purpose. The Fed began as a lender of last resort way back when, but no bank that ever needs a loan would ever go to the Fed if it's solvent because that's an admission of bankruptcy. The Fed is a regulator of banks. How's it done there? Horrifically bad. Citigroup's been bailed out, 5 times by the Fed? At which point the Fed is a bureaucracy in search of a purpose, so it tries to set the overnight rate that banks lend to one another. Interest rates are the most important price in the world. Why would we need the Fed to set that rate? So the Fed has no purpose, at which point it's a bureaucracy like any other government bureaucracy in search of something.
Finally, John, it sounds to me like you're pretty optimistic about the future of currency. Is that a fair assessment?
Of course I'm optimistic. How could I not be optimistic living in a country where, once again, we have supercomputers that fit in our pockets, where we are constantly curing diseases that used to so readily kill us? At which point, creating stable money is nothing for the capitalist system. And I think it's going to happen somewhat by stealth in the way that Uber wiped out taxi cartels. And I think the people who are going to bring us to this private money future are young people. You and I are stuck in the old way of dollars, but we see the possibilities. Young people are going to teach us how to use private money, how to use money that we can trust, and there will be this gradual evolution. And once we have that, once we have stable money, watch out, because the potential of people to prosper when the money that they use to exchange work and divide up work is trusted, our ability to progress is unlimited. And it will make you want to be a baby being born tomorrow, but also one being born 50 years from now, because the future is going to be beautiful once we figure out money. And money is easy, as I argue in my book.
The book is called The Money Confusion: How Illiteracy About Currency and Inflation Sets the Stage for the Crypto Revolution. John Tamny, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Now be sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and then scroll down. You'll see where you can become a member of our mailing list. Why? Well, because every now and then, for reasons that I find unfathomable, YouTube has issues with our videos. So to make sure you get all of our videos, don't miss anything, get on our mailing list. And you see that donate button? Hit that. Throw a little something in the tip jar. Make sure we keep getting you honest, hard-hitting programming. And remember, Larry with Epoch, E-P-O-C-H, LarryWithEpoch.com, LarryWithEpoch.com. I'm Larry Elder. This has been the Larry Elder Show for Epoch Times. Remember, we've got a country to save. I'll see you next time.